Here's the thing. Here's the whole topic, okay? Here's the thing. You hear me rant and rave on this channel. You hear me talk about this. You hear me talk about that. But here's the thing, okay? I'm 44. For many years, I had suffered with not only PTSD, but trauma, okay? And during those processes, as my years got older, life didn't get easier. They got more difficult. And it got better at the same time, right? But it seemed like when things got better, I just didn't feel like I was good enough for any of the good stuff that should have happened to me. And it's like at the same time, I always felt like I was destined for good things. Okay? Follow with me here. Listen. And I was confused, right? Because there were some things that happened to me when I was younger that I can't take back and change, right? Something that happened to me that older people should have not have ever have done. Took advantage of me in situations that confused me mentally for a very long time. I try to drown my sorrows with alcohol and addiction. And what I'm trying to say is, I was this close to ending it all. Bottom line, the chamber was cocked, everything was loaded. Thank God I had a friend of mine during one of my drunken stupors decided to say, you know what, I'm gonna unload that clip one day because I feel in fear for my friend's life. Thank God that person did that. I ended up in a cornfield one night, right? And I put that barrel to a place where I shouldn't have ever have done. And that chamber was empty. Now listen, because of that, I broke down and cried. Didn't know what to do. Still continued to live by myself out of my car on my terms as I considered. I found myself wandering one day, and I found myself at a beach. Met a gentleman to say they could help me get help, and I had family enough to care about me to where they offered me to get help. I walked into a hospital. From that day forward, I worked on bettering myself. I told the doctor I didn't want to leave until I found a way to figure out how I can better myself. Now, considering I was such a bad alcoholic, I went in talking to the nurses just like this with a 4.3 alcohol level. You can call it what you want, but that's beyond limit. I couldn't live that life anymore. So the whole point of what I try to do endlessly, and the reason why I get all worked up and everything, it's just part of the channel, okay? But I really do care. And the whole reason why I started these channels is because if you are sitting there right now and you've got nowhere to go, or you're in a situation where you just find yourself not getting out of it and you just feel like you're not precious enough to stay with us any longer, don't do that. Because listen, since I've been in sobriety, over 19 months alcohol addiction free, I have met some of the most amazing people in my life through addiction. Some of the most talented individuals life could honestly produce, if that's the thing. What I'm trying to say is, reach out, seek help. There are better days. I'm not going to sit there and say you're going to be a millionaire by tomorrow, but I can tell you this: I've got my family back, okay, and that's huge. They trust me enough now to where they lend me the house, they'll lend me their car, they'll do things for me because I don't ask, right? But what I'm trying to say is, if you're going through something right now, somebody cares, and that's me, and we don't have to know each other. And here's another thing, just so you know, we don't have to look alike, we don't have to talk alike, we don't have to live the same clothes and listen to the same music or whatever it may be. We may eat different food, and we might smell a little different. But if you're in a place right now where you just know you don't belong and you really want to get help and get out of that situation, that's where we have a common bond besides our DNA, okay? So if you ever need any help, please reach out to me privately. I read my messages daily, and I do talk to people. I'm not going to sit there and say who, but I am actually in conversation with many people on a daily basis. That's what I do. It's free of charge. Living in a world like we do nowadays, nothing's really free. So take advantage of the free help. Let's get you some assistance. And just so you know, if you have no insurance, no ID, no social security card, no birth certificate, you don't have a house, you got nowhere to call home or family, you're the perfect candidate. Even better, because I specifically, that's what I do voluntarily, is I help you get these things and I help you get help. And if you got somebody that says, don't be a junkie and go to rehab, but it's not about that. And who gives a shit what these people think? Save your life. And bottom line, if you're already questioning and you're watching this video and you know I can relate to what I'm saying, you already know your situation's bad and it's not good for you. right? Look in your refrigerator if you got one. Do you got a half empty bottle of ketchup and maybe a half bottle of baking soda and nothing else? There's something you might want to do, okay? It's not just about addiction, everybody. It's called mental illness, mental breakdowns, trauma, things that have happened to us at once in our life. Here's what happens to people. They get stuck in such a horrific trauma situation that the rest of their life, they're just going as clockwork. There's a lot of people you know around you that already do that because they have not worked on their trauma. So if you need help, all jokes and bullshit aside, I'm here to help. And if not me, help me seek you to help seek help, okay? But you are more precious than you think. Who knows what would have happened if I would have did that day in a cornfield? My family wouldn't have me right now. I wouldn't be here to be around my daughter or my family. And I'm glad I am.